So, hello dear friends, this is Bob Hatton. This is your encourager, and I hope we're in for an encouraging word today. Yesterday we saw that the whole world had to go and be counted. There's a census going on, and everybody had to go to the Father's house. Augustus, the mighty emperor in Rome, he wanted to know whether he was how mighty he was, how great he was, how lifted up he was. His name means the exalted one, but you know, how exalted is he? Is he exalted enough? And he wanted to know, how big is his kingdom? How many people are living there? How much wealth do we have? And so he ordered that everybody had to go to the place where their fathers came from and had to be counted. And that's what the mighty ones in Rome decided. And for a little guy like Joseph, who was like just a little wheel in this big Roman machine, it was a little bit difficult for him. It was inconvenient for him to move from Nazareth in the north back down to Bethlehem in the south, about 120 kilometers, about 80 miles that would be. And they had to go, and that was just at the wrong time. It couldn't have come at a worse time than that, because Mary was going to have a baby. And the thing is, though, from God's perspective, he hasn't made a mistake, and he was watching over this story, and he'd been preparing things for hundreds of years. We go back in time from this event in Bethlehem, and we go back in time of maybe 500 years, and we come to a prophet called Micah. And in the prophet Micah, he says that the Messiah, the one who God will send, he will be born in Bethlehem. Now, the problem is the people he chose to bring the Messiah into this world, they're in another place. So he has to move them from one place to the other. And it seems like this egoism of the emperor. God uses that to bring Mary and Joseph to the right place. Mary and Joseph, they didn't know what was happening. They knew that God was somehow with them. They had prophetic words, and then angels had been appearing to them, and they knew that something was happening, and somehow God is there. But this is so inconvenient. Let me just read it to you from Luke chapter 2. And I'll read from verse 3. And all went to be registered, each to his own town. And Joseph also went up from Galilee, from the town of Nazareth to Judea, to the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David, to be registered with Mary, his betrothed, who was with child. Bethlehem was really inconvenient, and it didn't just fit into into the time frame. But you know something, after I became a Christian, after I started to follow Jesus, I discovered a verse in Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 10. And the Bible says there that I am actually his masterpiece. God has made me, God has created me to do the work that he has already prepared for me. And God has got a plan for my life, just as like he had a plan for Mary and Joseph's life. He had a plan for my life, and he's also got a plan for your life. Maybe you are in a situation at the moment where it's also very inconvenient. I don't know why God has done this. And you know what is happening right at the moment? We keep getting new rules and regulations to protect us during this time of this pandemic. But they're sometimes so inconvenient, and especially here where we live, they're very incomprehensible. We don't know what they mean. It's difficult. We have to sit over them and wonder, are we allowed to do this? Are we allowed to do that? Sometimes they've written so very complicated. But God is still behind this. He knows what is happening. God knows what is happening, and this is not just a waste of time. The Bible tells us again and again we are to redeem the time. We are to redeem the time and use this time. Inconvenient things are always happening. Inconvenient things come into our lives, but just let's try to discover what God is trying to do during this time. He's got a plan for us right now, and I'm just going to leave you with a wonderful verse from Romans chapter 8 and verse 28, and Paul writes there, and he says, all things, not just some things, but all things have got to, all things have got to work together for good, for those who love God and are called according to his purpose. So that should be encouraging. God bless you. Have a good day. You're Bob Hatton, your encourager.